Hello and welcome back to part 4 of graduation. Um, right now you're in a place where you're resting. A lot of us are in that place. It's that calm space. A lot of things are just very quiet. You're in a resting phase. A lot of y'all, because y'all been in a fight, y'all been in a war, but you done passed the test, you done did all the things that you were supposed to be doing, but you feel antsy. You sometimes have to fight that desire to be involved in stuff, working on things, keeping your hands to the plow, doing all of this. God's kind of been bringing you into a state, I need you to rest, I need you to do this. And you have to be careful, because what the enemy will do is bring you contrary words, contrary messages to what God's saying, I need you to run, I need you to do this, I need you to be in motion, I need you to constantly fight. Look, if God told you this is your assignment, you complete the assignment He told you to do, God is automatically going to give you a resting period immediately after He's finished giving you what it was that you were supposed to do and you complete it. You never go from doing something to jumping into something else. He always gives you a resting limbo in the midst. And in that limbo, you are supposed to sit with Him in His presence, in prayer, in supplication, gaining wisdom, talking with Him, getting your next set of instructions. How does He give you that next set of instructions? Dreams, visions. You are more than likely going to be pulled into prayer and fasting, and you're going to be worshiping. Right now, everybody's saying it, and I'm feeling it myself, because I even shifted unknowingly and started worshiping even more. So there are going to be things that the Lord is going to pull you in order to make sure that you're getting what you need to prepare you for what He's about to do next. You may need to go back to the beginning, practice to prepare you. There are certain practices you started when you first started your journey with the Lord that you may have released and let go of. And God's going to tell you, I think it's a good idea if you go back and start doing those things again. Maybe it's the way that you were worshiping in the beginning that you stopped doing. Maybe it's the way that you were reading your Bible during that time frame. Maybe it's the way that you were getting up every morning and staying in the presence of the Lord first thing in the morning. Maybe it's these little things to keep God present in a day-to-day basis that are going to help you, enlighten you, give you that spiritual boost that you need to keep your days and your energy up against certain spiritual warfare that you don't need on a day-to-day basis. Know your enemy's weaknesses. Understand what the enemy does. Because most of your enemies, I don't care what level that you're on, they keep doing the exact same thing they did in the previous level. They're just trying to test to see if you were paying attention. It's kind of dumb, but that's what they do. And if you notice the pattern of how your enemies operate, what they do every time you're in a season where something's supposed to shift for you, what do they always do? Review those things, remember those things, so you can recognize those things when they pop back up, because they're going to pop back up. Because once you graduate from this season, guess what? You're going into a new season. And guess what? The new enemies in that season are going to be more powerful, but they're going to probably do the exact same thing the last demons did. That's what they always do. Have you ever heard the saying, your enemies do nothing new? They don't. Ever notice when you deal with people that were enemies in one season, but you find that you get a new set of enemies in your next season, that enemy is doing the exact same thing your previous enemy was doing, just a little bit more irritating, a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Same thing. The faces changed, the assignment didn't. Don't be surprised if allies become your enemies, and some will come back to apologize and give you keys. Be careful of who comes back in your life. Have discernment. Some of these people will come back, but it's not for you to, oh, come back in. We're best friends again. Listen, hear what they have to say in some cases, if the Lord tells you so. Because some of them are bringing a key piece of information in which you need in order to prepare you to walk into that next season with a certain level of strength. But get wisdom from God as to who you are to let in, even if it's nothing more than the conversation. Okay? Because the person may carry a key. That's something that you really got to pray about, because when these people come back trying to re-enter, you ain't supposed to let them in. You're supposed to gain the information you're supposed to gain and release them back. Do not hold on to them. Let me repeat that. Do not hold on to them. Oh, it's my ex. Oh, it's my this. Oh, we were best friends. This used to be my roommate. Oh, this was my friend from high school. No. Their only assignment was to give you what you were supposed to get from them, and you let them go. Perfect example. I had somebody that I was friendly with in the past 3 so years. We hung out for about 1.5 years together, and then we broke off our friendship. The Lord put this person on my mind, because this is the way the Lord will do it. He'll put the person on your mind. You may ignore it because you're like, we fell off. I'm not trying to. God be like, no, I need you to connect with that person. I did eventually connect with this person. And you know what happened? I went over to their house. We talked. She gave me a whole download of information that day. She even paid for my dinner that night. And then when I was headed back in, she turned around and she ended up praying for me, which led for the release of me from my last location into my new location. See what I'm saying? So you got to be cautious of that. Your enemies may become your allies, and you have to be aware of that. But let the Lord give you wisdom, and He will show you. He'll show you who to let in, who not to let in. You're coming upon your graduation day, which brings about a culmination of events. There's going to be a series of events that's going to lead to this thing happening. All of the pieces are coming together because it's time. My coach was talking the other day that she had something that came to her as an idea, and a series of events literally transpired that when this series of events occurred, it happened so fast for her. She was like, I've never seen it happen this quickly before. Why? Because the timing was right. Some of you, things you've been trying to do have not come together because the timing was not right. The pieces, the people, the places, the situations, scenarios, objects, all these types of things, even finances, were not ready, and we're not in position to come together in the right combination to operate together the way that they were supposed to. Some of you were moving in your own strength and you moved your piece, but everybody else has not moved their piece across this chessboard in order to meet you where you are. Now they are. Okay? And with that being said, where are we at? So you've gone through the culmination. We are seeing this happen right now in the world with relationships. There are people just dropping out of their marriages left, right, and sideways. People you never thought would get divorced are divorcing. You're seeing world events occurring and political elections. the destruction of the former house, because the latter house shall be greater. You're seeing, and we are going to see certain things happen in society in these coming days and times, that even months, that is going to be the signs of the shaking that God's doing. Because God's doing a shaking. He's got to shake things up to bring the debris up to the surface. And he's also got to shake things up by pulling people out and putting in new people that will tear down the old house. Remember, I told you, and I've said this multiple times, the idols are coming down. God's shown me several times in dreams that the old statues, idols, and even in Hollywood, he showed me, you know how they used to have the statue of the Emmy Award. All of them were tipped over. The statues of them. It was like 15 of them, and they were all tipped over, and they were all going in one direction. It's like, because God's knocking the idols down. So, in this, because these things are happening, it's a deep clean. Remember contamination that I was talking about? You're going to start to see things coming up, meaning bugs, vermin, and residue from your past. This is what we've been seeing. I've touched on this also. These things are starting to come up. You're seeing it happen publicly, and you're seeing it happen privately. Because of this, it is a sign when you see it happen publicly that you're also dealing with it privately. Some of y'all need to deep clean your houses. Me, I stay in the place that I'm staying, but this ain't my house. So I can't deep clean the place like I would normally do because it's not my house. I tried that when I first got here and got fussed out for moving the person's stuff around. Because it was too clean for them. Believe it or not. Because when you do a deep clean, what do? You pull everything out, get behind things, move things, and then you put stuff back. And sometimes things that you would get rid of, they wouldn't. So, some of y'all are going to have to do a deep clean. If you can't deep clean the whole space that you're in, you do a surface clean on the other person's stuff, and you do a deep clean on your property. But do what you can with what you got. But if it's your house, do what you do. Deep clean the whole daggone place. Because you're trying to get rid of the bugs, the vermin, and the residue. You are going to need to bring in everyone. You are not, let me repeat this, going to be able to cross over to where God's taking you by yourself. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to do it. You've tried. I've tried. It's not going to happen. God has to send you messengers, assistants, divine people that are going to meet you along the way, that are prophetic witnesses, God-ordained people, God-ordained divine helpers and connections that are going to pull you forward and align with you in order for you to carry that assignment. Remember Numbers 11 and 17, that God will pour his spirit out on you, and your spirit will go upon all the people that are supposed to assist you with this thing in which he is giving you in this season, and you're going to have to do this all together. It's not going to be a one-man show. It's going to be everybody. You're going to get your team, your clique, your people, your cohort, your what have you. But you're going to need them in order to be able to win this fight. Yes, your enemies must come to the table, as according to Psalms 23 and 5, that the enemies will be at the table. Some of y'all getting prepared to get married. Your wedding, there may be people in your family that you wouldn't initially want there. They're going to be there. You know the spirit's upon them. I was listening to Megan Michelle the other day, and she made a great point. She's like, there are people in my family that I haven't had good relationship with. But I've come to the realization that it's not them, it's the spirit upon them. I'm going to love on the person, but the spirit on them, I'm going to detest. But I'm going to hug the person. I'm going to love on the person. Some of y'all got people in your life right now that you wouldn't dare put a hug on them because you're like, yo, I know your demons. And your demons, I can't touch your demons. I don't want your demons touching me. I'm so sorry. And God's like, watch your heart posture. Watch your heart posture. Yeah. You think I say this because I do it for my health? No. God's had me go through this. Some of your enemies will become allies. We already talked about this. And everyone must come together for this battle. The battle may not be the battle. The battle may be the culmination of your wedding, the event, the promotion, the what have you, your transition. Some of y'all going to be moving. Some of y'all, you're going to be getting married, moving, and transitioning to a new location. And it's going to take help from family and friends in order for these things to happen. In the end, what happens? Of course, you're going to win. You're going to cross over. You're going to get where you're trying to get. And you're going to be able to rest when you get there. And you will be able to rest in your new position. But everything that is holding on to your past must be blown up. God's going to allot you the ability to transfer over. It's almost like he's holding up the bridge only long enough for you to get to where you're going, because as soon as you get there, your past is going to blow up. Anything that will allot you the ability to turn back, boom, it's going to blow up. Enemies you see today, boom, blow up. Anything that God's going to take it out. It's like when Lot had to leave Sodom and Gomorrah. I need you to leave now. He brings what? The angels to come escort him out of the city so that he can get to a safe place, because God will not blow that place up until he leave. Some of y'all, that's the case. There are things that God's going to allow your enemies even witness you transition over to where you're supposed to be. Graduate to where you're supposed to go. Do what you need to do. You're going to let that happen. But in that happening, he's going to blow it up immediately after he knows that you're secure and have left the location. It will be blown up. Judgment will come upon that situation and scenario. The only reason judgment has not come upon it, a lot of us have been sitting there praying, God, why don't you bring judgment against my enemies? God, why don't you bring judgment against this place? Why don't you bring judgment against this job? God, why don't you bring judgment against this place I'm living at? And y'all been sitting there, what? And God's like, I can't do that until you leave. I need you to pray until I remove you, but once you leave, then I can blow it up. What? Yeah. That's why he hasn't destroyed it yet. Because one, I'm trying to give the people involved in the situation that have been coming against you the opportunity to repent, relent, renounce, denounce, and uproot everything they did. I'm trying to give them the opportunity, but they seemingly are not listening. So when I remove you, and it's going to be quick and fast because I'm going to get tired, and when I remove you, then they going to see it. Because they going to watch you go up, and then I'm going to take them out. Ooh, wait, what? Yes. I'm going to blow the whole sucker up. There will be no plan B. It's only plan A. There is no other option left. Only direction that the Lord needs for you to go is plan A and plan A. There's no other plan B. There's no plan B. The enemies that you have seen today will no longer follow you. And those that are still standing with you, meaning when the smoke has cleared, you've reached where you're going, everything's done, and the people that you still have access to, can talk to, can experience what you're going to experience, these are the ones that are your ride or dies. These are the ones that are still there for you. These are the ones you can still pick the phone up and they'll answer if you call them. Them the ones. So, as you're coming to the end of this, 1 Kings 5:4, King James Version. But now the Lord my God hath given me rest on all sides, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrent. That's what it says. Occurrent. And it was so that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz, Eliphaz, I don't know what that is, and the turn my wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy two friends, for ye have not spoken of me the things this that is right, as my servant Jacob hath. God gonna come back to your enemies and confront them for what they did before he take them out. Therefore, then this is why you're going to see your enemies come back to you as allies, because he's going to send them back to you, because that is their recompense. In order for them to be able to fully be healed and forgiven, they got to come back and apologize to you. And some of y'all don't even want their apologies. Like, I don't even want them to come back to me and apologize. Don't apologize to me. If they don't, that's they behind. You got to allow them to. You not receiving their apology is actually more detrimental to them. That's why God says, I need you to forgive, because God's going to be sending some of these people back to you and be like, yeah, can you forgive these people? And you can't be holier than thou, ornery, and prideful and be like, I ain't forgiving this person. That's why God had to deal with your heart. You. Yours. He had to deal with your heart. How do I know? He's been dealing with mine. I had some people that did some rather foul stuff to me. Foul stuff to me. And the first time somebody tried to reach out for me from one of them sets of people, I actually blocked their number. Because I was like, no. My heart wasn't healed enough yet. And I actually sat with the Lord, like, should I have done that? Was I supposed to allow them to talk to me? Therefore, take unto you to see 7 bullocks, 7 rams, and go to my servant Jacob, offer up yourselves as burnt offerings, and with you after the folly, in that ye have not spoken to me the things which is right, like your servant Job. God gonna get him. God gonna make, not only that, he's gonna have them released. Remember how in Exodus God had the enemies release all that stuff to them before they left? That's what he's gonna have your enemies. They're gonna release stuff to you before you leave. Or think about it. Some of y'all gonna have wedding registries, and when y'all get married, they gonna have to give you stuff. Y'all gonna be getting stuff. Not to mention, God's going to have the take back. So some of that stuff, God's going to be just giving you recompense for all the years and the stuff that you lost. You're going to get financial blessings. You're going to get all the blessings and the gifts is coming. Baby showers. Y'all got gifts coming. From your wedding gifts to your baby shower gifts. Y'all got gifts. The Lord has turned the captivity of Jacob. Job, when he prayed for his friends, y'all. Did you pray for your enemies? Because God had me do that several times. As you're coming into your graduation season. Also, the Lord gave Jacob twice as much. Y'all out here praying, but you can get double because you pray for these people. I'm talking about the nasty ones. And then came there unto him and his brethren and all the sisters and all they that had been of his acquaintances before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and confronted him over all of the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, every one of them earring of gold. So the Lord is blessing the latter end of Jacob more than his beginning, and for that the 14,000 sheep, the 6,000 cattle, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 of she donkeys. And he had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, and called the name of the first, and then you get all the names. And in the land no woman was found so fair as his daughters of Jacob, and the father gave them inheritance among their brethren. And the living Job 140 years, and he saw his sons, even to 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of his days. God is going to give you rest about all your enemies. He's going to refill your barns, and some of you are being prepared to receive 7-fold blessings, 100-fold blessings, 1,000-fold blessings, and they're all going to come. Some of them are going to come from your enemies directly, and some God is going to have people put it on their heart. Think about it. What if it came to be that $2.5 billion lottery jackpot winner was to release some of that money into Christians' hands? Because the Lord put it on their heart to just give away money. Would you receive it? Oh, that's what I thought. So you're going to be receiving gifts from the enemy's house. The enemy's house. Let the will of the Lord be done. Align it, bless it, sequence it, do what the Lord is going to do for you. But let the Lord do it this time, because you're in this preparation for your graduation, and God's about to do magnificent wonders on your behalf. So congratulations. We are graduating, or as Esther's Way put it, congratulations. You're getting married. What does married mean? Bueller, meaning every dry place in your life is about to be well watered. All the desolate places are going to be filled because of your marriage. because you're graduating into the new thing. And as we come to the end of this, I say this. I told you before, go back if you did not watch graduation. Your graduation is the proposal, or the proposal is the graduation. Go watch that, because guess what we're doing next? Marry me. So get ready, because that's what's coming up next. Till next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Bye-bye.